Ada and Amma were twins born of very wealthy parents. They were so close that wherever you saw Ada, you would definitely see Amma. Sometimes you couldn't even tell them apart because they looked so identical. They did everything together right from when they were little. You dare not attack any one of them because the other twin would come for you. When the time came for them to go to the university, they chose the same school, the University of Lagos, and even studied the same course, business administration. The only difference between them was that Ada was a bookworm and excelled at everything she set out to achieve, while Amma was carefree and relied on her beauty and daddy's money to get whatever she wanted. But despite their differences, they were inseparable. They were each other's best friends, and that was enough for them. One day, the twins went to the mall to shop, and that was where they met two handsome friends, Ken and Ben. Immediately the men saw the twins, they couldn't resist their beauty. They walked up to them, had a brief conversation, and asked for their numbers, which the twins readily gave. And that was the birth of a beautiful relationship between the four of them. After 3 months of dating, Ken proposed to Amma, and shortly after, Ben proposed to Ada. The twins were very excited to plan their wedding, as it was their dream to get married together on the same day and have kids around the same time. It was an exciting period for both of them. A few months later, they got married, and the wedding was the talk of the town because Ken, who married Amma, was an oil magnate, and Ben, who married Ada, was the sole heir and chief pilot of Divine Airlines. Financially, they had nothing to worry about. After the honeymoon, they settled into their daily lives. Ada resumed as the COO of her father's multinational company, while Amma chose to be a full-time housewife living flamboyantly. They both seemed really happy as they lived in the same estates not too far from each other in Banana Island, with their husbands who were very close friends. After 3 months, Amma got pregnant. Ada, I think I am pregnant too. How far? Are you pregnant too? You know we are supposed to plan our babies around the same time. Amma said, excited. Ada looked at her with excitement and screamed, Wow! Congratulations, oh, thank God. But I am not sure I'm pregnant yet though. I missed my period, but I'll have to go to the clinic this evening to check. The twins were really excited about Amma's pregnancy news, and Ada was looking forward to her clinic visit to check if she was also pregnant. 6 months later, Amma gave birth to a very beautiful baby girl, but Ada still yet to get pregnant. The news was met with mixed feelings for the twins because they wanted to get pregnant and have their babies at the same time. But that was not the case because Ada was yet to conceive. While Ada was happy for her sister, she was troubled because she also wanted a baby of her own. All the doctors they had seen kept saying the same thing, that she and her husband were fine, but she kept wondering what was wrong with her. Her twin could conceive, so why couldn't she? She slowly moved into a state of depression. Months passed, and Ada was still yet to have a child. After 3 failed IVF attempts, all her gynecologist could tell her was that she keeps having spontaneous miscarriages, but the underlying cause was yet to be identified. Her in-laws were already on her neck to give birth to their grandchildren, saying that her husband is the only child and needs to get a child to continue the family line, and if she cannot produce a child, her husband will have to marry a second wife because adoption will never be part of their family. At this point, Ada was really desperate and would do anything to have a child for her husband and his family. One day, Ada called her twin sister Amma and asked if she could come over to her house that evening. Immediately Ada got there, she whispered, "Is your husband at home?" Amma looked at her surprised and said no, and immediately Ada dragged her into her room and shut the door behind her. She held Amma tight and burst into tears. "I need your help. I need you now," Ada cried loudly. Amma tried to console her sister, but she was inconsolable. The tears kept flowing freely as she was already on her knees. "What is wrong? What do you need from me? Please stop crying. I will do anything to make you get out of this state. Just talk to me, Amma said. Ada wiped her tears and made Amma promise to help her with whatever she wanted. God is my witness. I will help you, Amma responded. Ada stood up, walked closer to Amma, and whispered into Amma's ear, I need you to sleep with my husband. What? God forbid, Amma screamed. Ada immediately covered her mouth and started crying again. You promised to help me. I know this is a lot to ask, but I am losing my mind. I am losing my home. If my husband marries a second wife, it would kill me. All I need is for you to sleep with him, get pregnant for him, and we can pretend it's my baby. I need to save my marriage. I need my husband to have a child. Amma, still in disbelief, responded, Why can't you just adopt and pretend you are pregnant instead of putting me through all of this? Ah, Amma, if I do that, they will find out because the child won't even look like me or Ben. And that will raise suspicion. At least you are my twin. The baby will come out looking like me or my husband. And even if they try to do a DNA test, it will show that the baby belongs to my husband, Ada said. I don't know if I can do this so. Even if I agree, we both know that your husband would never agree to this. He can't even stand the thought of surrogacy, not to talk of me sleeping with him. This is madness, Amma shouted. Ada chuckled and said, See, Ben does not have to know anything. We are identical twins for God's sake. He wouldn't even know that it is you trying to sleep with him. He will just think it's me. All you have to do is pretend that you are me for just one night, preferably your ovulation night. Desperate times calls for desperate measures. This will be our own secret. Please, I trust you. Please do this for me. This will be our secret and you will take it to your grave, Ada said as she continued to cry. Amma was confused because this was a big request, so she had to ask Ada for some time to think about it. After some days, Amma did not hear from Ada and decided to visit her. She met Ada in a very bad state. Ada was drowning in alcohol and really looked miserable. Ada, do you want to kill yourself? It's not the end of the world now. Is it because of this child issue? If me sleeping with your husband is what it takes to save your life and your marriage, I will do it for you, Amma said. Ada immediately dropped the bottle and hugged her twin sister. Amma looked at her and said, But we need to come up with a better plan. No one has to know about this, especially my husband. He would kill me. It took a few weeks to actualize their plan, as it wasn't easy for Amma to come to terms with sleeping with her sister's husband. But as soon as Amma's husband Ken traveled out of town for a business meeting, coincidentally she was ovulating that weekend, the twins saw an opportunity to carry out their plan. Ada got her husband to drink lots of wine that evening so that he could be intoxicated, making it easy for Amma to pretend to be her and sleep with her husband. The following month, Amma missed her period and was confirmed pregnant at the hospital. She immediately called Ada to tell her the good news. Ada screamed with joy and was ready to prepare her body to look like a pregnant woman. That evening, as soon as Ada got home, she gave her husband the good news. Ben leaped for joy and immediately called his parents, telling them to start expecting their grandchild. Everyone was happy. Ada had never seen her husband so excited since their wedding day. She was also happy and convinced that she had made the right decision. For the next couple of months, Ada pretended to be pregnant alongside Amma, so as not to raise suspicion. She pretended to have morning sickness during the early stages, and when Amma's pregnancy started showing in the 4th month, Ada began to wear a rubber dummy tummy so she could look pregnant as well. When the delivery date was close, Ada and Amma took a trip abroad, making everyone believe that they were going to have their babies. So when Amma delivered, the baby would be given to Ada. When they got back home, they told everyone that Ama's baby died during childbirth while Ada's baby survived. Everyone was happy that Ada finally had a child, even though they were sad Ama's supposed child died. Ada was extremely happy. She had finally gotten what she wanted, a male child and an heir to her husband's family airline. Months passed and everything was going fine. Ada was satisfied with one child and never tried to get pregnant again as she had all she needed. Her marriage was secured. Her in-laws became nice to her again and her husband was very happy. Life was peaceful until one night tragedy struck. Ada received a call from Ken, Ama's husband, that her twin sister. Please like, subscribe and turn on the notification bell so when I post another interesting story, you will be among the first to watch. Thank you and remain blessed.